Oh, hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, otherwise known as Puglo Escobar, and today we're going to take a look at the Cheval Tiapan, retailing at a price of $1,980,000, and I'm sure you'll agree it looks cooler than a sunbathing Eskimo now, doesn't it? Okay, let's get started, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Now, of course, we've got Mr. Raccoon here sat alongside us in his own Cheval Tiapan. It has not been fully upgraded. The Tiapan that I am in has been fully upgraded, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to see how they handle. Okay, well, in terms of acceleration, I'm afraid it's less impressive than a sea lion trying to tap dance. In terms of handling, yes, you've just seen it. It's sort of, right, I mean, it's not the best, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately. That's a sorting hell, right? Okay, yeah, I think you're getting the idea, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of handling, it's like a wild pig on roller skates. It's heavy, it's unstable, and it's liable to slip out on you at any moment. You know, that's the simple truth of it. In terms of top-end speed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's much like a plane crash. You know, you may well be going fast, but you're not going to feel it, if you know what I mean. And that's pretty much all that can be said for it, really, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what can one say? You know, it's sort of underwhelming across the board. We don't do a traction test, but the traction is not particularly good on this particular vehicle, you know. There is a sweet spot, it does have to be said, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to point out at this junction in the video that if one does actually correctly handle the braking when approaching corners, one can get around it at some considerable speed, but finding that sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen, is damn near impossible. You know, it can be done, but to do it consistently, ladies and gentlemen, it's really rather tricky. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, even when you do manage to find that sweet spot, the car itself is very, very heavy, ladies and gentlemen, and if you don't find the sweet spot, then its traction is absolutely bloody awful, and you're going to come flying off. Okay, well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to take it on into the Maze Bank offices, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go on and take it into the custom auto shop. Yes, indeed we are. And in fact, here we are indeed. Okay, so as always, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going through this section of the video at double speed, as we always do. Just in order to hurry things along somewhat, but, you know, still provide you, the viewer, with the opportunity of having a look at the different modifications that can be affected to this vehicle, should you then choose to go ahead and purchase it, you know. And that's pretty much the whole purpose of this section of the video, ladies and gentlemen, as I say. Now, I already pointed out, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, this vehicle has been upgraded all across the board. You know, I did buy the Tiapan a rather long time ago, don't you know? It's been sat in my garage, not doing much, collecting dust, because when I first took it out, ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't particularly impressed with it. It was a very early purchase of mine, and compared to the Wagner, ladies and gentlemen, which was the car I was most impressed with at the time, yes, they really didn't favour the Tiapan, shall we say. But it's many moons since then, ladies and gentlemen. We need to do a review on it, so we're going to put a review out, so we're going to have a look at it once more. Okay, so what can one say? The acceleration, ladies and gentlemen, you know, like I say, it's not all that great. The top-end speed, it is fast, but it's not mind-bending. The handling, ladies and gentlemen, if you hit that sweet spot, it's perfectly acceptable, you know, but the sweet spot is hard to find, and if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to slide all over the road. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, it's heavy as hell, you know, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so we're going to take it all out onto the street, and we're going to perform the standard lap. Okay, and the acceleration, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, like an inflatable chair with a very small puncture, it's going to slowly let you down, you know. And there we go, managing sort of sliding around there. What can one say about the handling, you know? I mean, it's like trying to find the tiger's clitoris, you know? If you hit that sweet spot, then you're in for a good time, but if you get it wrong, then you're going to get very badly mauled, I'm afraid. And in terms of the top-end speed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you know, it's sort of more underperforming than an old man with a bad back and erectile dysfunction pills. That's the simple truth of it. Okay, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the standard lap as it stands, so to speak, you know. We've pretty much completed it. We're going to bring it back on round to the Maze Bank offices, and then we're going to take a brief detour up to the top speed test track before we perform the other tests. Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the top speed test track, and I'm sure you'll agree in terms of looks, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's sort of more badass than a biker with a beard and a bottle of bourbon, isn't it now? Okay, well, here we are. We're going to see what the Cheval Tiapan can do. 53.54 is what we consider to be a competitive time, so let's see what we get, shall we? Okay, 55.123. Now, it's just on the very outside edge of competitive, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very close to competitive. competitive. Okay, so it's really, it's not all that slow, but it's not supersonic by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so we have brought it up to sandy shores now, ladies and gentlemen, down as you can tell, and the vehicle we're going to pull out first is going to be the Emperor ETR1, don't you know? Now this is a wildly underperforming supercar, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely disastrous, and even so, ladies and gentlemen, it is sat alongside the Tiapan coming down to the end, and that really is rather worrying. Costs around about $2 million, ladies and gentlemen, for the Emperor ETR1, and yes, there we go, it's very, very close. It was $1,995,000, I do believe, for the Emperor ETR1, ladies and gentlemen, and the next vehicle we're going to bring out actually costs $1,510,000. It is the Invetro Cockhead D10, ladies and gentlemen. It's a sports car. It's a sort of it's an expensive sports car, but sort of low to mid-range now, considering what Rockstar flogged them at, you know. It's very, very slow, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Raccoon, who's a big fan of the D10, was much chagrined that I asked him to bring it out. He thought the Tiapan was going to defeat it, and as it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, it very nearly did until the very, very end, and then the D10 came past. So how about that? You know, even the D10, ladies and gentlemen, was taking it at the line there. The next vehicle we're now going to be bringing out is going to be the, oh my god, what was this? This is the Anis Elegy, don't you know? Now, this is a car that can be picked up for free if one chooses to join the Rockstar Social Club. It's a very fine car, and for all the purposes of acquiring it for free, there's no reason not to go and join the Rockstar Social Club online. We will definitely do that. It's a very fast car. Well, it's not a very fast car, it's a fast car. It's got very good handling. For free, it's a very, very good car. You can take a lot of other vehicles down. It does turn out that the Tiapan can actually be bested, and thank God at least for that. Okay, so we're dropping right to the bottom of the price range now, ladies and gentlemen. For $100,000 and $100,000 only, you can purchase yourself a Fister Comet. You can also drag one off the street, don't you know, but the point of purchasing one is that you can upgrade it as well, and this is a fully upgraded Fister Comet. So a fully upgraded Fister Comet for $100,000, ladies and gentlemen, up against the Cheval Tiapan, and it does appear, yes, it's not going to do anything. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity to point out all of the other vehicles are being driven by Mr. Raccoon. You know, he has a channel of his own. His name is The Bromley. The channel is called The Bromley. If you type that into YouTube, sure to go find him. He's got some other good videos on there. The next vehicle that we're going to bring out, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be another Fister, don't you know, but this is the Fister Growler. Now, of course, I mean, most of the Fisters, ladies and gentlemen, are all sort of comments, aren't they? Really, comment rip-offs, one sort or the other. We did find this to be, like, the fastest Fister, effectively, ladies and gentlemen, of the Comet range, shall we say, retailing from $1.2 to $1.6 million. And rather surprisingly, ladies and gentlemen, just as we pointed out, Mr. Raccoon took a rather shocking corner there. But try as we might, ladies and gentlemen, it was not possible for the Growler to take down the Tiapan, and that has to be said, ladies and gentlemen, that really is rather surprising. Okay, so the very next vehicle we're going to bring out, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the Visor Neo. Now, of course, Visor only make one car, at least as far as I'm aware, ladies and gentlemen. On this game, it is the Neo. It is retailing for $1,875,000. It's a very interesting car, ladies and gentlemen, so comparable in many ways to the GTO, although it can't beat it around the track, that should be pointed out. It's got a sort of very bouncy back end, kind of stiff steering, but not too bad. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's disappearing way into the distance. So yes, the Visor Neo, ladies and gentlemen, for cheaper, ladies and gentlemen, than the Tiapan. Absolutely monstering it, and I think we're starting to see the cracks now, aren't we? Okay, not a million miles away in terms of price, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Lamborghini Tigon. It is actually rather a fine car, ladies and gentlemen. Retailing for a price of $2,310,000. So it is sort of $300,000 more, ladies and gentlemen, than the Tiapan there. And it is a very fast car with very good handling, but it sort of got around there crooked. And how about that, ladies and gentlemen? It does in fact appear the Tiapan may well be getting to do it, you know, but no, not a chance. Mr. Raccoon was just toying with me, don't you know? And so yes, the Lamborghini Tigon, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely annihilates the Tiapan, as we may well expect. Okay, so we pretty much got the sort of an idea of this car, a reading now for this car, so we're going to start to wrap things up. Now, this is what we like to refer to as a serious contender. For those of you who do not know, for the hoes at home, for the uninitiated, shall we say, this vehicle that we're racing against is the Benefactor Serrano, retailing for $110,000 only, ladies and gentlemen, can be found towards the bottom end of the Legendary Motorsport website, and we call it a serious contender because it is in fact a serious contender. And if you don't know about this Benefactor Serrano, then you certainly do now. Okay, so yes, the next vehicle we're going to bring out, ladies and gentlemen, of course, what else would it be? What else could it possibly be? It is Big Daddy Z, the Pegassi Zentorno, retailing for $725,000, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolutely phenomenal car, you know. It is obviously sort of under half the price there of the Tiapan, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can see, even with Mr. Raccoon weaving all over the road to show that he can beat it without going in a straight line, yes, it's still going to gain absolute ground on us, and it's going to absolutely destroy the Tiapan. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's of course only one more question, and that is the final masquerade, the Grotti Italia RS6, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, if the Tiapan can't take down the Zentorno, there's not a hope in hell it's going to be able to take down the Grotti Italia RS6. So what can we say, you know? I mean, in terms of acceleration, ladies and gentlemen, the Tiapan, it's got all the acceleration of a mammoth struggling its way out of a tar pit, you know. In terms of top-end speed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, for $2 million, it's just, you know, it's like being slapped in the face with your own underpants. I mean, it's shocking, it's unpleasant, and it's going to leave a nasty taste in your mouth. In terms of looks, though, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's sort of more menacing than Mike Tyson with a machete now, isn't it, you know? But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it's just the handling. It's like a fat donkey covered in oil. It's heavy, it's slippery, and it's likely to kick out at any moment. So there we go. Should you buy it? Not really. We don't recommend. Starting hell, bloody Raccoon. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.